Hello friends, today in this video you are going to learn about language skills and how you will integrate these language skills in your teaching technique. First, what is language? Language is for communication and to develop proficiency. When we learn our native language, we learn to listen first, then to speak, read and write. The four skills are listening, reading, speaking, writing. Listening skills. Listening is an ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. And it is acquired over time and it needs lots of practice. And it is the key to all effective communication and it requires focus and a lot of effort. Effective listening is an extremely important life skill and most challenging too. By developing the ability, we develop our students to become more independent learners. By hearing accurately, they are likely to be able to reproduce accurately. It requires focus and effort, not only paying attention, but how it is told, the use of language, how the person uses their body. It means just being aware of both verbal and non-verbal messages. Types of listening. Active listening. There is proper interaction and feedback given after understanding everything. This technique is used in counseling, training, and to solve disputes. It requires a lot of concentration, understanding, and the listener has to respond and remember what is said. Empathic listening. Listening to show mutual concern, understanding in speaker's perspective. Here, the listener listens to the other person patiently. They have to show acceptance. Next, critical listening. Listening to evaluate a message for purpose of accepting or rejecting it, as when listened to campaign speech of political leader. Here, all parts of messages are analyzed and listened carefully to evaluate them. Now let's see how this skill is integrated in our teaching technique. Basic framework for listening activity lesson is pre-listening, while listening, post-listening. Pre-listening. There are certain goals to be achieved before students attempt to listen. They are motivation. It's important that before listening, students are motivated. So, select a text that is interesting and design the lesson in such a way it arouses curiosity among students. The next one, contextualization. Here, you have to design a task that will help students to contextualize the listening and access their existing knowledge so that they understand the text. The last one, preparation. Here, you have to review specific vocabulary before you start the task so that the students don't find difficulty while they are listening. While listening. This stage is the most difficult for the teachers to control because the students need to pay attention and process the information actively. Students need a reason to listen. Students, to really develop their listening skills, they will need to listen a number of times. 3 or 4 usually would work. Listening task we design should guide them through the text. You can ask them single questions. At this stage, it is more than enough. Second time they listen, they demand a greater and more detailed understanding of the text. Post-listening. There are 2 common forms that post-listening can take place. First one, reaction to the text, whether the students agree or disagree with the text. Second one, analysis of the language. Here, the students focus on the linguistic features they have heard or seen. Now let's see few advantages and disadvantages of using listening skill in your classroom. Advantages are, students get to hear recordings of different voices and it helps the students to prepare for real life situation. And disadvantages are, here the students will not be able to see any linguistic features or the body language. They might be distracted by any disturbance occurs. In my next video, I'll be talking about speaking skills and how you will integrate them in your teaching lessons. Thank you.